Many of your well-known colleges and universities around the United States are now having their football players report back on campus to go ahead and start their start their summer workouts. As many of you already know, there's been an ongoing issue with this pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, that has slowed up colleges from opening up their campuses to their sports players to get them back ready so that they can begin workouts and do the things that they normally would do to prepare them for the start of the season. Well, guys, guess what? Many of the football players that have returned, many have been returning since back, I'd say, probably the early part of June. And I think in one of my previous videos, I reported about how so many student athletes had tested positive for COVID-19. Well, now as a little bit more time has passed on, and we have, like I said, we have these student athletes beginning to now show up for fall sports. The problem seems to have not decreased. It's begun to seriously increase. Yes, guys, welcome back to Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. Today, I'm going to give my insight on the Rutgers and Michigan State COVID-19 cases, how impactful this could possibly be to the BiG10 conference. As many of you know, Rutgers and Michigan State both have been in the headlines lately with the number of cases that they have reported thus far. And I mean, football players, they're excited, to be back amongst their brethren, as far as with being able to hang out, play video games, and do all of the things that they normally would do while they're on campus or while they're living in their apartments or whatever have you. And, when you have some downtime, a lot of times you want to go out and enjoy yourself and have a good time. And sometimes those good times that you want to have are not necessarily on campus or in your dorm rooms or at the apartments that they may be staying in. Many student athletes decide that they want to frequent parties and bars or whatever have you at the different, prospective locations at Rutgers as well as Michigan State, the bars that are necessarily around in the area close by campus. And it seems that the excitement that so many of them had has turned into almost a nightmare for them. Rutgers University's football team, they're now in quarantine for the next 2 weeks. Upon arrival back to campus, they had, I think it was 2 student athletes that tested positive. Now I believe they're at a total of 15 in which they've tested positive for COVID-19 virus. And this has gone on since that June report, the June 2nd report, if I'm not mistaken. According to the report, it's been stated that the student athletes that were on campus or reported at that time, they were football players that attended multiple parties in the area. And I guess while at those parties, there were individuals there that were positive or didn't know that they were positive or carriers or whatever have you, and they have now spread this virus onto some of the Rutgers football players, and now they have shut down and quarantined for 2 weeks. But the crazy part about it, as I stated in the beginning, they are not the only college or university that is having this same problem. One of the well-known colleges, Michigan State. If you follow me on Facebook, I have a lot of guys that I went to high school with that actually attend the university, they attended and graduated from the University of Michigan, as well as some family members, and I give them a hard time about this completely. So for all of you, this one is for you, okay? Yes, I gotta be a little messy, I always call Michigan State. They say MSU, I say MS who. But hey, MS who got a couple of student athletes out there that went to a club nearby, in which if you saw the pictures of the lines that was waiting to get in the club, I mean, everybody's out there standing on top of one another. There's no mask being worn. There's no social distancing. There's nothing. So you can only imagine after a period of time, this would happen, right? So yeah, here we are. We're talking about Michigan State as well as Rutgers that have, an excessive amount of individuals that have now tested positive or were in contact of someone who had or has the coronavirus, and now they're being quarantined. Michigan State, as of today, they have a total of 17 football players that have tested positive for coronavirus. They have 4 staffers that also have tested positive for coronavirus. So what did Michigan State decide to do? They decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and shut the campus down, or excuse me, we're going to shut workouts down for the next 2 weeks. And I think this was, a week and a half ago. I think they're supposed to come off quarantine either August 3rd or 4th. So their quarantine period I believe is just about up. But I hope everybody is safe and, they're well off and everyone is able to get, things together and handle business accordingly. Guys, you got to understand one thing. I understand that this virus, this pandemic that's been going on, has slowed a lot of things up that we all enjoy to do. Heck, I enjoy going to the bars, going out to eat, and having a great time with all my friends. But one thing that I understood is that those times have changed. We have to move slightly different now. We have to have a mask on, even though you have people out here telling you that you don't need to wear one. We have to take into consideration not only ourselves, but we got to look out for those that are around us as well, because you just never know. I mean, not to mention, let's say if you go home, if any of those players or staffers went home to their families and they ended up, contracting the virus from them based on what somebody else passed on to them. So guys, let's break this trend of this nasty virus that's out here right now. Let's stop going with the gift that keeps giving, because basically that's what's going on right now. We need to slow down just a little bit, guys. I understand, it hasn't hit me. I've been out here with no mask on and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's all well and great. But guess what? You're rolling the dice with your life. Not only your life, but those others that are around you as well. So just keep in mind, guys, let's be safe. Let's be, cognizant of the things that we're doing, because we don't want to harm anybody. Like I said, if this continues on with all of these student athletes coming up positive for COVID-19, BiG10 might not have any games this season. We already see what's going on with Notre Dame. Notre Dame jumped over to the ACC just for this season. I'm gonna speak about that here shortly. But yeah, guys, we just got to be mindful, guys. Let's take into consideration what's going on. And like I said, guys, my thoughts are we just need to be safe. Basically, we just need to be safe. So again, like I always tell you guys, while many of you want to see, college football being played, like myself, I just want everybody to be safe out there. And also you guys be able to have a good time playing the sport that you love to play. Guys, I'm glad, the coaches and staffers are taking the initiative to make sure everyone is safe and sound. And just be mindful. No one's trying to keep you from doing anything. They just want you to be safe. But if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget, guys, hey, follow us on social media. The links are listed below in the description. Please leave your comments. I want to hear your comments. Hey, good, bad, or ugly, leave them anyway. I want to see exactly what we need to do here to make some change, if we need to make changes, if there's anything different that we may need to do with the channel as far as we're continuing to grow. Like I said, we're growing, but hey, let's go ahead and blow this thing out the water. I want to reach out to as many of you that I possibly can to let you know, hey, Coach Walker's here by your side. Always remember, guys, be that one and lead.